I've smoked cheese for years, and if you've seen my how to smoke cheese video, you'll see that I typically use old cheddar, and I've typically cold smoked it using just a small pile of charcoal briquettes with a aluminum foil, sort of a cigar filled with alder wood chips. Today I'm going to be mixing that up in a couple of ways. First of all, I'm going to use my tube pellet smoker with alderwood pellets inside of it, and that's actually going to give me just about double the amount of smoking time that I typically have. And I'm also going to mix up the cheese. So the first cheese that I'm going to smoke here is just some Gouda, and these are both 600 gram packages. Now I could just smoke it like this, however I'm going to cut it into thirds because that's about the size that I'll be packaging it in once everything's all done. I'm just going to quickly slice this. And then the other cheese that I'm going to be smoking today is this brick of medium cheddar. Thought I would give that a whirl and see how it goes. Now, this is a rather large block of this, so I don't want to smoke it like this just because I want a little bit better penetration. So I think what I'm going to do here is also cut this initially into thirds. Glad I brought out my big knife. And then I'm going to cut each one of these into 4. And that's going to allow for a little bit better smoke penetration all the way through. And it's also a decent size for packaging up. Beautiful. There we go. So that's a lot more manageable than a 2.3 kilogram block. All right, let's go to the smoker. Okay, so I have the smoker open up and ready to rock here. You can see that I've got the cheese all nicely spaced out, just allowing for smoke to get in and around every part of the exposed cheese. I do have just some fire bricks here, which are going to act as a bit of a heat shield for the minimal amount of heat that's going to be coming out of this pellet smoker here, and just deflecting that a little bit, just so there isn't direct heat hitting any part of that cheese and possibly risking melting it. So let's fire up. Woo! I love using this grill torch, firing up everything around here. Lots of nice heat. Just want to make sure they're all really nicely caught so it doesn't try to burn itself out. And that should be good. And let's see. Yeah, it's not too hot or anything. Just kind of let that go out. And gently put her in there. And let the smoking begin. So after just a couple of minutes here, we got some nice thin blue smoke coming out of the smoker here. Today's a perfect temperature for this. It's right around 2 degrees Celsius is our high, so it's just kind of like a nice cold refrigerator out here, which will be beautiful for cold smoking this cheese. Woo! Nice decorations here. Okay, well, this smoked for about 7 hours in here, and it smells amazing in the smoker. It kind of died out about 20 minutes ago. I just sort of let everything kind of clear out. Now I'm just going to take these, toss them into a tub, and get them inside. So I now have these in my basement, so they're just at sort of like a cool room temperature. I've got them in these open Ziploc bags, and we're going to let them off gas overnight, and I'll deal with them in the morning. So after off-gassing all night, I'm going to take these and package them up. You can see there's some moisture on them, so I'm just going to pad that off with some paper towel, and then I'm going to vacuum seal them for storage and aging, just like that.
This part of the process takes some patience, but not as much patience as I now need, because once these are packaged up, you need to let them sit for a month just to kind of mellow out and let that smoke flavor be complementary and not too aggressive. All right, so I'm gonna get all these packaged up and get them into the fridge. All right, it has been 4 weeks, well, actually almost close to 5 weeks. I can't stand it anymore. I think the time for patience is over. Let's rip into these. All right, so the first step here, I'm just going to slice into these vacuum bags. And let's pop out these cheeses here. Oh, I can smell all kinds of smoke here already. Amazing. Okay, so just pull off a little slice here. This cheddar and slice of this Gouda. Gorgeous. Okay, we got a taste. So cheese number one will be this Gouda here. The aroma is just out of this world. It's taking everything in me, not just to fire the whole thing in right now. So that alderwood gives you such a light, mild, extremely complementary smoke flavor. Because I mean, this Gouda, it's not like it was like super fancy aged Gouda or anything like that that would have a lot of like really nice nuttiness or anything going on with it. Really quite a mild cheese. It's retained a lot of that creaminess. It definitely has a little bit more of an aged texture to it because it's a little bit drier. But oh man, such a gentle smoke character to it. Extremely. I'm out of words. I'm going to need a minute. Okay, I think I'm ready to carry on here. This has this extremely like beautiful, gently sort of rustic character of smoke, almost hints of sweetness and just this. I almost think of it like a soothing, smoky characteristic because it still has a little bit of that creaminess from the original Gouda, and it's just it really just makes me want to have a whole charcuterie board. So, Now I'm eating the rest of it. We'll be back with the cheddar here in a second. All right, so next we've got this medium cheddar. I'm going to see if I can approach this with just a little bit more grace than I did that Gouda. This is good. It's not as good as the Gouda in my opinion. Really nice. Not even a similar smoke characteristic to it. With the Gouda, I think it's almost a little bit smoother tasting and definitely more complimentary. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is good. If I'm gonna have to have a smoked cheddar, absolutely, this is great. But I think I'd be tempted to say that I prefer the old cheddar to the medium cheddar when it comes to actually smoking like an orange cheddar cheese. Good, but I mean, I've had better, just like this over here. So yeah, there you have it. Cool little experiment. Really happy with the Gouda. I'm okay with this one. It'll go well. You know, pair it with some nice salami or something like that. Happen to have a whole ton of that, so we'll be good. But yeah, there we go. I'm gonna go curl up with these cheeses and I guess see what happens. So until next time, keep Road 11.